Now, I may not have kept all my Pokemon cards from when I was a kid, but one thing I did keep was all my toys. And today I want to go over some of the toys that I still have. Now I'm going to start off with big guns and show you one of my absolute favorite toys from when I was a kid. And that's this Power Ranger weapon, because, you know, I felt like a child John Wick. And this toy has definitely got its use of beating up all the villains. It is the original Power Ranger weapon that was released in the 90s. I know they did a recreation of the toy set, and I was extremely tempted to get it, but because I already had this stuff, there was no sense in actually getting it, despite how cool it was. Sadly, though, I am missing the components to actually make it work. So we're going from Power Rangers now to my all-time favorite animated TV series, Batman. And this has been tearing up the streets of Gotham. Batman's got to take it into the repair shop. You can tell I played with all of my toys. Yep, but it's falling apart here. And the cool thing about this toy is that this opens up. You can see Batman in there, and then when you press this, Batwing comes out. I'm surprised the sticker is somewhat still intact. And I was definitely making use of these wheel spikes. I'm surprised I still have the weapon accessory for this. I had a whole set of these. Red and Blue Ranger were my favorite characters in Power Ranger, so I had a lot of the Red Ranger and Blue Ranger stuff. 1994 Bandai. And I do know there were other Rangers as part of this set, but they're probably buried somewhere. As I got older, I always looked back and thought I took somewhat good care of my childhood toys. But Raph would disagree. You poor mangled turtle. The bunny's still there. That was always my favorite thing about this one. Little bunny rabbit. Fun fact, my mom put a permanent marker, little marker, line or dot on each of my toys just to make sure I always knew it was mine. This Raph figure was always one of my favorites, just because the head spins. And it works so flawlessly still. This was such a fun toy. And it works with this big, giant little button sticking out in the back. In all my Ninja Turtle figures, I've seen better days. Obviously. And we have one more turtle here, Leonardo. And with this figure, they had a lot of cool figures with the Ninja Turtles characters, where you can transform, spin, then the magicians, and let's see if I can somewhat. Well, that's a thing of nightmares. There's a better look on the inside of the toy here. There are turtle feet here that you could actually kind of slide out here, but I'm missing his other foot. They're all missing limbs. Another favorite toy of mine here is from Mighty Max, and this was the Scorpion mini playset. I always thought this was the coolest looking one. From Bluebird Toys in 1993. 93. Seems like yesterday. And when we open this up, out comes a little scorpion piece. Hopefully I still have the figures in here. Ah, that sucks. No figures, but I remember Mighty Max. He had his arms up in the air, kind of flexing, and I do believe it also came with a villain minifigure as well. But when you extend this, you can move the back here and use the claws. I really did love these minifigure play sets. These were always so cool, because it was almost like you get multiple toys in one, where once you actually transform and put the piece back together, then you have a giant scorpion to play with. I don't know where that's been. And here is the Happy Birthday Leonardo figure, complete with his own little in-hand pizza. I did scuff him up a little bit, and it's like a party whistle. Yep, there's the black mark on the bottom of the feet. This was 1992. Probably the only reason this is actually intact is because there's no pieces to him. Otherwise, he'd be missing a limb too. Who else remembers Rugrats? And have so many fond memories with these Rugrats toys. They're kind of like plushies, but the limbs and the head are hard plastic. You can take off Tommy's diapers and change him if he, soils himself. And there's Dill here, and complete with this little blanket. This is a hard figure. This one's not plush. He did have a pillow, and I would always tuck him to bed at night on my shelf. And then Chucky over here, a little fuzzy hair. Chucky was always my favorite. Not more than likely missing a few accessories or two. Missing the pillow for Dill, but I'm not sure if these two came with anything. Well, memory lane is a fun road to go down. Thanks for joining me in this video. I'm gonna make a part 2 because I got bins full of these toys. So I'll see you in the next video.